Hello everyone, welcome again to another story, titled The Faceless Man, posted by Raven's Roost YT under the Reddit forum r/no sleep. Let's begin. My old man was a mean drunk. More often than not, he'd come home wasted and take out his frustrations on me and my mother. One day he was in a particularly foul mood, and as he was about to take a swing at me, my mother stepped in between us. His face turned red with anger like I'd never seen before as the doorbell rang. I think I was the only one who heard it. When no one answered it, whoever was standing on the outside of our door pounded on it with such force it nearly flew off its hinges. This got my dad's attention. Grabbing a baseball bat on his way to the door, he swung it open, getting ready to strike the visitor. My mother covered my eyes slowly. Her hands dropped, and I saw my dad was frozen in place. When I looked up, I understood why. At the door was a man with an impeccable dark blue suit. Not a single stain or wrinkle. A fancy handkerchief was tucked into his breast pocket, and his tie perfectly straight. And he did not have a face. The faceless man grabbed the bat from my father's hands and folded it into a somewhat pretzel-like shape. My dad dropped to his knees in disbelief. The faceless man then grabbed onto his head with a single hand, and without any effort whatsoever, he crushed my dad's head into a mess of blood and bones. Very casually, he took out the handkerchief and cleaned my dad's blood, brains, and bone fragments from his hand. After which he took out a small notebook and an expensive-looking fountain pen. He crossed something out. Then he casually strolled out the door, leaving my mom and I in utter shock and disbelief. I'm not proud to admit this, but I take after my old man. Because of my old man, perhaps. And while he had a family, all I have is a lousy security job and a string of failed relationships due to my drinking and anger issues. As I am making the final rounds, making sure all of the doors and windows are locked, I enter the stairwell. When I lock the door, I hear a gentle knocking. Looking through the peephole, I see a man in an impeccable dark blue suit. Not a single stain or wrinkle. A fancy handkerchief tucked into his breast pocket, and his tie perfectly straight. And he does not have a face. I run down the stairs, trying all the doors along the way. All of them locked. Suddenly, my keys open no doors. I hear a loud bang, and I assume the faceless man has kicked down the door. I hear him casually walking down the stairs. Unlike me, he seems to be in no hurry. I reach the very bottom of the stairs, and I try to break down the door of reinforced steel, fully knowing how pointless it is. Behind me, I hear the soft footsteps approaching. I crawl into the corner as the faceless man reaches out and places his hand on my head, like he did to my father all those years ago. In my desperation, I beg him to spare me. I promise to stop drinking, go to therapy, and make amends to the people I have hurt, all while sobbing. To my shock, it actually seems to work. He puts his hand down into his pocket instead and takes out his little notebook and fancy fountain pen I know all too well and writes something. He then shows my name in the book with a question mark behind it, and with that, he casually walks out the door, just like he did so many years ago. That question mark was a message, a warning that I now have taken to heart. He has given me a second chance to make good on my promise to him. I know he's still out there observing me, and I know I won't get a third chance. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Have a good night.